The Bostonian is Matt Perrault.
This is our city.
The book is Dave Sharapan.
Pay him. Pay that man his money.
Together, they are the Bostonian versus the book.
You covered 12. Covered.
Follow the show on Twitter at Boston versus the book.
How do you like them apples?
Bringing you the best insight on sports betting news, Matt and Dave's daily picks, and an entertaining and unfiltered dive into the sports betting industry. Here's Dave Sharapan and Matt Perrault.
And here we go.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to a very fun Monday for the Bostonian versus the book. Not one, but two guests for you guys coming up here in the next hour plus more. On that here in just 1 second. Dave Sharapan, Matt Perrault back in Vegas after a very fun sports weekend. How are you, my friend? Welcome in. It's going to be kind of a weird week for us this week. A little bit of a start and stop week. How are you on a Monday?
We're good on a Monday. We're not going to be here on a Tuesday, and you'll get to the rest of the schedule because you'll be on an airplane to Boston tomorrow. We got two guests. Been busy this morning trying to make sure we're good, make sure we're on time, trying to make sure we got all the topics covered. It's not like we don't just show up and do the show. There's a lot of things that go on behind the scenes that ain't nobody know about, but everybody knows it's ish time. It's go time. All aboard the BVB train today. We got two guests. It's going to be a lot of fun.
So John Kincaid from The Fanatic in Philadelphia is going to start us off here in about 15 minutes-ish. John is in the middle of battling cancer for the third time, and we are incredibly thankful that he is taking the time out of his battle with this disease that he has been an incredible champion, outspoken cancer. You may hear fuck cancer about 5,000 times today. Okay.
Sorry, Will.
And it's just going to be one of those things. Okay. And leave it in there if you can, because people need to say that. Hashtag is out there on Twitter for a reason. This guy just, every time, his attitude is so incredible. If you need a pick me up, if you're feeling down today, you're going to hear John Kincaid. Your problems are going to be nothing. All right. You're going to realize what I realized over the weekend, just not even through John Kincaid, but just continuing from the weekend on Saturday when I started looking back on what I've just done for the last 70 days with the hard 75 and the fact that I have the chance to do it at 46. And I know people who can't, and the privilege that our health is. You know this. You know
Every
this.
day. Live it every day.
It changed everything for you. I changed for me a little bit because I was in the hospital for a couple of times, but like I just realized, I looked back and I was like, COVID really messed with me bad. And I had a bunch of different health concerns and issues and things that were going on in my life that just didn't make a lot of sense. Couldn't figure out why I was feeling the way that I was feeling, overheating, having all sorts of problems with dehydration and stuff. And, I just stopped and I was like, man, I got to stop worrying about the little things because, man, I'm doing something that a lot of people can't do, haven't been able to do because of real health concerns and real issues and real battles, getting up and getting sick.
In the meantime, I can't wait for you to eat some wings.
Hell yeah. Let's go.
Because I stopped over the house, hung out a little bit on Saturday. You're cranky as all hell. When you're hungry.
I'm constantly hungry. I'm just hungry, period. I mean, I've been hungry for,
Yeah, but you look great, but two.
Thank you. I'm done with Greek yogurt. I need Greek yogurt to not be part of my life for like a couple of months.
Yeah, this is fine. But I was going to invite you to come to Buffalo Wild Wings because Jess and the girls and everybody were going. And I said, I can't invite him. I said, he's in the last week of the stretch. We're not putting wings in front of him.
I want them so badly.
Everybody likes wings.
It's my favorite food. It's my absolute favorite food. I love them. I love making them. I love trying different places. I love hunting for the best wings in Vegas. There's a place in Henderson called Johnny's that I haven't gone to that everyone's telling me I have to go to because it's been here for 30 years and they claim they're the best wings in Vegas. It's a half an hour from my house. So I have to justify driving a half an hour to go have wings. And I haven't been able to do that yet, but that's the big rumor that this place over in Henderson is the best place. It's been there forever. So generations been handed down. This recipe is like this secret sauce thing. I'm like, all right, I got to go check it out. I haven't done it yet, but yes, I mean, wings are a very large part of my, not everyday diet, but every week diet. Yep. And it's been 75 more than that's almost 80 days, probably since the last time I had wings. So
yeah.
not good. I went yesterday, 8 East. I saw TJ from Chicago in town. It was on the menu. I almost ordered it for him, and I'm like, I can't do it. I can't put it in front of me. It's not right. I'm sorry. I said, TJ, I'm sorry.
You
I can't
did
order
good with Brommel Camp and I when the three of
Yeah.
us were there.
Yeah.
I ordered them, and you're like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh."
I said, you really gonna put wings
And I
in front
moved
of me
him
right
over to the other end of the table just so you wouldn't even be tempted. And he's like, "You're like, I want
Son of a-
to have one of those so bad."
now?
I said, "Todd, eat them all."
Can't wait
Eat
to
'em all.
rip into them. I
Yeah.
mean,
Just eat 'em all.
it's like I don't know. You're Jewish. I'm not. I don't know fasting. Yom Kippur. I don't know the fasting, but I feel like that's what it's going to be. I'm going to break fast after the 24-hour.
Listen, we did this for the the Raw Fitness Challenge. Me and Jess did it the day after we finished. I mean, you eat clean for a long time. When you eat bad, your body's going to rebel at you. It's going to be
The
like,
alcohol is going to be. I can't wait to see how my body handles the alcohol that I haven't had
Oh,
a
you're
drink in
gonna
over
be
70.
2 drinks and 3
Bye-bye.
sheets to the win. You're going to
I
be
can't wait.
bye-bye.
That's going to
it.
be a fun feeling. I'm going to
Yeah.
be a real cheap drunk. It's going to be
Yeah.
great. One drink
Yeah.
and I'm going to be feeling phenomenal. So
Yeah.
I can't wait to do that. But John Kincaid's coming on here in about 10 minutes. So stay tuned for that. We're really appreciative. Then later, Matty Lindemann from WinBet's going to come on. He went to Cincinnati. We got an eyeball on the Reds. You were in Cincinnati.
Yep.
He's also a big college baseball fan, a big
Yep.
college baseball bettor. And we've got Florida LSU tonight for the national championship. Game 3 rubber match. Stud pitcher for LSU on the mound. Tigers are big favorites
On
to win
short
tonight.
rest.
I'm okay with it, man. The guy's a horse.
I agree. It's going to be. Listen, yesterday was the dud game of the tournament, but there haven't been many of them. This used to be the norm where there were blowouts and good teams just overpowered bad teams. Tournament's been great. The games have been great. Omaha's been great. I did the show this morning with Ben Scott Stevens on
Nice.
Sports Grid, and I said, did you cover the games in Omaha? He's like, it's the best 10 days of the year in Omaha.
Where'd he work?
He lived in Omaha. He lived in those apartments you lived in, remember?
Oh, that's
He was on
right.
the
I
show, and
forgot.
You guys
Yeah,
talked
yeah, yeah.
about it.
Yeah, he
I
didn't
tried
cover
to
it,
get
though.
him on the show today, but we're stacked and we couldn't fit him
Yeah.
in. But
He
wanted
didn't
to talk
cover the
about-
World Series, though. He just
Yes,
went to the
he
World.
sat on
covered it?
top. No, he sat on top of the
Rosenblatt.
Bucks, he said, or whatever
shot
he
it.
said. Yeah,
And shot it.
he did all of it.
He
Yeah.
I forgot he worked in local TV there. Yeah, so it is. People don't realize the parties are actually the most fun thing about it, and having LSU there for the entire time means nonstop parties.
Have
A
you
bar-
seen these Jello shots?
That's what I was gonna say. There's a bar in Omaha that sold out. That they have too many. They did a contest as to how many Jello shots they were going to sell, and the over under was 9,000. And like LSU fans, each school 9,000. LSU destroyed it, like just blew it out of the water.
50,000 or something right now.
Yeah, just not annihilated it. And so they were like, okay, we're good, no more. They stopped doing it, but it became kind of a cult thing on Twitter.
Did you do Jello shots back in the day?
Of course.
Do you like them?
Yeah, sure. I mean, Jello shots are fine. I mean, I like vodka, so it's it's a easy way to get alcohol in your system. I never liked, because you don't know, like there are two things I didn't like all that much when I was in college and later on. Like I didn't like eating cannabis brownies and I didn't like taking Jello shots because I never know how much is in the actual thing I'm eating. So you can't figure out, like I was always very careful as to like how much I was eating, how much I was consuming, how much I was drinking, just to know. So like if I ever had to, I don't know, I never like to get so drunk that I can't actually operate my body.
Correct.
So I never liked when I'm not the one making stuff, I'm always very careful and concerned about it.
You're a control freak, period.
I am. I'm definitely a control freak.
100% a control freak.
But I'm nervous on these things. Like I don't trust somebody. Like when I'm putting something in my body, I don't know what you're doing with it because grain alcohol. I've had people tell me Jello shots have had vodka in it, and really it's grain alcohol.
These are things that you learn. Kids, if you're watching the show, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. This is the dad portion of the show, talking to the kids about your alcohol consumption.
Yes.
One, I've never eaten anything with cannabis in it. I don't even know what that does or tastes like, and I don't want to know right now.
Oh no, it's not bad. I mean, it
tastes good.
Yeah, sure, it's a brownie. I mean, it doesn't taste bad. I mean, that's what, if you do it right, if you know what you're doing.
Yeah, stop. It's just, you're only eating it for the taste. I mean,
no, you do. It's really actually pretty simple. You take the cannabis, you put it in butter, you turn it into a simple syrup, and then you add it into You take the THC out, you strain out the leaves, and then you put it into the batter and you cook the brownies. It's not hard.
We're never getting off late night.
It's not hard to do.
We're never getting
off.
We're never getting off
illegal.
late night. That's it.
That's not even illegal. That's a legal thing you can do in this state. I'm not telling anybody illegal. It's legal in most states. New York, Massachusetts, Nevada.
Show live right now. Put in the chat yes or no on the Jello shots.
Oh
Whether
yeah,
you like
most
them
people are
or
yes.
not. Most people are yes.
Yeah, most people are yes on Jello shots.
I
Sure.
would go the other way. No.
Pop brownies might be a little bit of a different. I don't think you'll get the
We're
consensus.
not voting on the brownies. It's the Jello shots. We're voting on yes or no. That's the question.
Do you
right
care
now.
the flavor of the Jello?
What other flavor than cherry is there?
Because that's the whole point, though. In Omaha, they were doing this with the competition. It was by your team color. So, like, if you're
are LSU's yellow? Because
think
that
they're purple.
yellow Jello is terrible.
I think it's purple. I think the LSU Jello
That's
is purple.
fine. Little grape flavor in it, maybe.
Yeah, I think it's purple.
I'll buy that.
And then you had,
Yellow
Stanford
Jello is terrible.
Stanford was red, obviously.
Fine.
Florida's blue.
Good. Blue Jello's fine too. That's passable.
Let's see who else. Obviously,
You
was
like
I don't know.
orange Jello.
Oral Roberts could be really an interesting color.
Hey, ho. Slow it down.
What's Oral Roberts' color? That could be a whole different world.
Hold on.
They were there. I mean, they had it. They're on the list. They're one of the 8 teams that were there. So it matters. Oral Roberts was there.
I mean, are they clear?
I don't know. I don't know what they are. Clear Jello? Yuck. No color gelatin. Ooh, that's
that fake stuff. Yeah.
Ooh, well,
Nothing
Jello's
fake
fake.
about
Jello's
Oral,
not real.
though.
But
There's nothing fake about Oral. That's for sure. What are we doing?
Mikey, clip that.
Right there. Clip it.
Clip that. There's nothing fake about Oral.
Oh.
Okay. All right. Sure. So we'll get into this. I don't want to keep our guest waiting because he's been
Is he
so
here?
kind. He's here. So
Let's go, Kincaid. I brought a hat just for him.
You brought a hat?
Well,
Oh
I
my
picked
goodness.
this one up.
What is that hat that you are wearing? Oh my
Love
goodness.
that hat.
That is
I love that hat.
Kincaid. This
What's
hat
going on?
has all of the Philly P's that they've had on. So, like, it's the back has this. It's all these different panels. It's a Philadelphia hat for one of my favorite Philadelphia guys, Kincaid. How are you?
You are covered in pee, Dave. Amazing.
My man. He
That's
never
really awesome.
misses.
I can't believe Matt's wearing his Eagles hat for me. That's sweet.
It's all for
That
you,
is
buddy.
all for you.
I
That
did
is all
I did
100%
the
for
shave-
you.
Just so you guys have not seen, I did the shave down
Okay.
in advance of any hair loss to come with my 5FU chemo. And so 3 different people have tried to check my credit line thinking I was Dave. So, right, but so I
Nice
shaved it
work,
down
Kincaid.
in advance, and just as a preemptive measure, I've made sure to, just because around 80% of people that do my chemo have some sort of hair loss. So I figured, shave off the flowery, it'll all come back. It'll all come back. They've assured me. And I'm wearing my 11, AJ Brown, because treatment 11 to go is on Wednesday. But my Eagles jersey, as you can see, the extra larges do not fit anymore already. Around 20 some pounds down.
Wow.
Yeah, but when you guys, I didn't realize I was sick when I saw you guys in Vegas. I mean, when I saw you in Phoenix.
Phoenix.
And I'll see you in Vegas in February.
Of course, you
Amen.
Super Bowl.
Absolutely.
But I didn't at that time I was ill, and I didn't realize, I'm feeling like I'm getting bloated and everything like that. I didn't realize what was going on. But hey, 1 down, 11 to go. So AJ Brown, I'm channeling him this week. And I'm not nearly as tough as AJ. I can tell you, I'm not going across the middle in the NFL. I can promise you that.
Kincaid, you've done
Yes,
it
sir.
twice before.
Yes.
They didn't get the hair then. If they get the hair this time and you can go through number 3, to hell with them all. This is great. I'm so happy to see you doing this stuff.
I love it. The thing was that they told me from the day I was diagnosed, they said, stop saying you've had cancer before, because it was 25 years ago. And they're like, you know nothing about what you're about to go through. It is so much better. It is so much more advanced. What you went through was living hell. You're going to be shocked. Whereas somebody who's never been through it before is going to say, this is really crappy. You're going to go, oh my God, this is a walk in the park compared to what I had experienced. it's only been one treatment, but I can tell you, first of all, not one urge to get sick. I've sort of lost, I've lost a little bit of my appetite. I'm like a twice a day eater, but overall, one treatment was pretty good. And it just fatigues you. It just fatigues you. And they say it's going to compound, so it's going to get a little worse, but I haven't had to miss work. I've been able to work. I've been able to do all the things, and had a little fun. Went to Topgolf yesterday.
Wow.
Long sleeve shirts, covered hat. I never wear baseball caps, and everybody got a picture of me yesterday in a baseball cap on social media. They were like, "Oh my God, he's in a baseball cap." So I don't wear them because God didn't give me the head of hair I have to cover it with that. But right now, I'm willing to do it because of the sun damage.
So you went and spoke at a camp for broadcasters.
Yes.
What is it like for you now, being able to talk to young people, going through what you're going through, but being able to, how are you finding the energy to go out there and tell people, look, this is a career, go after this career, pursue it?
Distract, Matt. I mean, it's anything that can keep my life normal. And that's what I asked the whole team around my radio show to do. I said, every day when I come to work, I honestly, like today, we talked about something with me being sick for like a minute and a half. And we just do the show. And I asked everybody around the station, everybody in sales, everybody even in the listening audience, can we just do the show as normal? And the more normalcy I get, the better my day goes. The more I have alone to my thoughts, then the intrusive thoughts come in. And that's where it gets a little scary. And I got to tell you, I'm being honest with you. Publicly, it's been a lot harder because I wasn't as much of a public figure when I had cancer the first time. It's the whole town knowing, the whole city knowing, the teams, the sports teams reaching out and showing their support and everything. It's very, very kind. But it's also very, very overwhelming that there really is nowhere to hide. This is going to be a public next 4 months, but I got it. I got it because I have no other choice. We accepted as a family. As a family, I came up with the slogan for us, and that is, there is only one acceptable outcome. And that's the only thing we'll focus on. That's the only thing we'll do. And if I do everything I'm supposed to do, I really do believe the numbers are in my favor. But I'd like to see, could you check the books? What's the odds? I'm on the Bet Parks app in Philadelphia, which is great. The great folks at Bet Parks, they've already put out the line. They've got me as a heavy favorite. Like I'm a minus 350, but should that bet not win, everybody gets a free bet. So that's great.
You're sick. You really
sick.
are. I got you as a minus 5,000 favorite.
Oh wow,
okay?
that'd be great.
Yeah, we're making you a big favor.
You may have talked to my oncologist. I don't know. I'm glad everybody gets the free bet because at least they get the free bet should they lose. Right. This is by the way, new customers only.
New customers only.
Look, you got to win. This is what I was saying to you earlier. Distract.
Let's keep things normal then, okay?
Have some fun.
What's wrong with your Phillies? What the hell's going on in Philadelphia baseball? You're going to have some time. You know, last summer was a little bit different, and it ended great other than the World Series loss. Struggling this year. I mean, this is not the Phillies team that we expected. What the hell's going on in Philadelphia?
Well, it's not what I expected, but do you realize that at 40-37, they have the exact same record they had last year?
Wow.
Exact same record. But last year, Wheeler and Nola were pitching better.
Way better.
And the offense was clubbing a lot more homers. But right around this date is when they lost Bryce Harper for 2 months. So for the next 2 months, they've got Bryce Harper. Last year at 40-37 is when they lost Bryce Harper after getting hit by the pitch in San Diego.
Right.
So the next 2 months, they have Harper. They didn't have him last year, but they also had Rhys Hoskins, who they don't have. And I think that's the biggest thing to this Phillies team is missing that Hoskins bat in the lineup. That's why a lot of people in Philly are talking about them trying to go after Goldschmidt and seeing if they can get him to play first base.
Whoa.
That's a deal that they would be willing to deal one of their – they have like 3 huge arms in the minors. They won't touch Andrew Painter, the top name. But there are 2 other names that I believe that they would consider in a deal to be able to try to bring in Goldschmidt. If they can bring him in, I think I feel really, really good about it. Plus 2, the Phillies will be like they play 9 of their last 12 on the road before the All-Star break. And I know you guys love breaking down these numbers on the podcast. I see it every day on the show. That after the All-Star break, the Phillies are a plus 13 home games.
Oh,
they have 43 at home, 30 on the road.
Okay.
And that is the most favorable in the National League. And I think that could help. And I think that could help you too. Plus, they end with 7 against the Mets in the last 2 weeks. So
which is a pretty good thing right now because
if the wheels come off that bandwagon, if they come off that wagon, how many times have you seen, by the way, bottom of the 8th inning, 3 guys get hit by pitch that score runs?
That collapse was.
It never happens, but that's what the Phillies needed to beat the Mets. So the Phillies shouldn't be pounding their chest. The Mets lost that game. The Phillies didn't win.
Fair.
I mean, that's the Phillies. And Rob Thompson is, last year everybody's all excited. The new interim manager. It's great. He takes over for Girardi. But I swear to you, between him and Girardi, it's serious. I'm looking for the pulse. I'm going to get the paddles.
Yeah.
Because there's no urgency. And I guess sometimes I'm guilty of consuming baseball too much like football with an urgency.
Right.
But these guys, I mean, honestly, they're one step from a toe tag. And that's not, and that's me saying that. That's really scary.
So what do you make of the wild card? Dave and I have had this conversation on the show a lot about the fact that the Braves can go run away and hide with the division, and it doesn't matter. That all that matters is you get in. So you're not even watching what Atlanta is doing. The Braves can go kill everybody. It doesn't matter. All that matters is get into the tournament, right?
Well, it matters how the cards fall. Because like last year, the Phillies fell. Remember, the craziest thing in the world is the Phillies went 4-8 in their last 12 games and made the playoffs. The Brewers went 4-10 and missed by a game. I mean, that's what it comes down to. The Brewers crapped the bed and the Phillies backed in at 4-8. But once they got there, remember, they were losing the first game at St. Louis 1-0 in the 9th inning and came back and won it. And it was crazy. I mean, the way that whole day went down, and then it all spun out from there. The way I look at it is this. Last year, I truly believe if the Phillies had to play the Mets, let's say the Phillies had been the one wild card up and they had to play at the Mets, I think the Phillies would have gotten smoked. They didn't win a series against the Mets all year. They got to play the Cardinals, who they played pretty well and they'd won the season series against, and then they beat them. And then imagine if the Dodgers don't get knocked off by the Padres. The Braves were sitting there waiting. And the Phillies aren't intimidated by the Braves. Every year in 19 games, and I knew it well being in Atlanta and being a Phillies fan, they'd play their 19 games and it would be 10-9 Braves, 11-8 Braves, 9, it was always tight. And close. And the Phillies are not intimidated by the Braves, even though they tend to get their backsides kicked by the Mets. So I have no idea what it's all about.
Kincaid, I know you do all the sports in Philly, and you got the Eagles stuff on, but a good friend of the show and a good friend of mine, Keith Jones, is now the president of the Flyers.
Good friend of mine too. He's a good dude.
He's a good guy, such a good guy. There hasn't been much hope for Flyer hockey recently.
No.
You expect Jones to turn this thing around?
They got to have time. They have to have time, and the big key is that Jones and Briere now are going to have to they're going to have to execute the vision, and they've done a good job of. They've both been on my show in the past few weeks. They have to execute their vision, articulate it, then execute it. And look, you can run a fire sale and you can just put everything out at the corner and sell it, or you can do it strategically and show that it fits along with the vision you got. They're looking for a lot of draft picks. They're looking to get really young. And look, John Tortorella, people think of him as sort of a quick turnaround guy. Tortorella, people don't realize he had 6 years tenure in 3 different cities with 3 different teams: Tampa, Columbus, the Rangers. So, I mean, he stayed for 6 years, 3 different places. In the NHL, coaching tenure is barely 3 years.
Right.
And he did it double in 3 different markets. Torts wants to be here. He doesn't want to go anywhere else. He wants to finish out here, and he wants to create something. And now he feels, I think, like he can create something with these guys. And he's a teacher. He loves to teach. And there were some kids in the classroom last year that needed to be kept after school, like Matt back in high school. And so he had a few teaching. Might have been the CBD. I don't know.
We didn't have CBD back then. We don't know what that was. It was all THC. So we didn't know what CBD was back then and back in the day. So here you wear an Eagles shirt. I'm wearing an Eagles hat.
I love that. Thank you.
What is, like, as we get to July 4th, I've been around Philadelphia a lot. I know how the market goes. Phillies baseball, not that it gets boring, but baseball is long. Everyone starts talking football. Everyone starts looking ahead once we get to the 4th of July, countdown to training camp.
Sure.
Is this it? I mean, is it we're coming to Vegas, Philly in the Super Bowl? That's all will be acceptable this season for the Eagles? Or is there still, okay, they got to go to the next step before they get to the big one?
There shouldn't be any, for the fans, for the team, I want them to have the proper steps. Win the division, secure home field, get back to the Super Bowl. I want them to have the proper vision. For this fan base, I want this fan base to act, Matt, and I hate to say it with a thing, but sort of like Patriots fans did back in the day. Embrace, but no, Dave, embrace. You know what you got to do? Embrace expectations when you're supposed to be great.
Agreed.
Don't shy away from it. Don't say a lot of things could happen.
You know, they did that in Pittsburgh too, right? Like Steeler fans could be included in that, right?
Well, the Steelers back in the day, absolutely. And the Steeler fans, by the way, I think Steelers fan base one of the greatest. But the thing is, embrace expectations. Don't shy away from them. Anything less than this Eagles team, at least playing on NFC NFC Championship Sunday is a failure in my book. They should have a home divisional playoff game. They should win, and they should have a chance to go to the Super Bowl. Now, could a team from another division, maybe, because they had 3 teams in the playoffs in the East last year, maybe another team could snake them for home field advantage, and you have to go to San Fran for the NFC title game or something like that. And they'll be on their 7th quarterback from that, and they'll still be whining about it. So we'll come and we'll beat the crap out of their 8th and their 9th. But there should be nothing less than expecting Vegas in February. No excuses. Not excuses at all. And I can tell you, it's already football season because Nick Sirianni and his family are enjoying a little time down the Jersey Shore. And this past weekend, they were playing some football with his kids on the beach, and Bill Belichick was caught taping him. You know the opener is only 2 months away. He was running plays. He was running plays with his kids, just getting ready for the opener. He's already fired up for it. And so you can tell that trip to New England is ready for it for Tom Brady Botox night. So we're all excited.
That's right. I forgot it's the Eagles. That's right. It is
we're
the
all
Eagles.
Excited. We're very, very excited for that one.
That's right.
They say, Tom, instead of like applauding the crowd back, he's just going to try to blink. He's going to attempt to blink.
He got it tight.
Dave, if he does any more to his face, he's going to have to unbutton his polo shirt to take a pee.
It's fair.
He's really stretching it.
Really tight.
I mean, seriously, they've told him to stop, would you?
The Eagles are minus 110 to win the division.
Fair.
The Cowboys are plus 175, and then it's the Giants at plus 750 and the Commanders at 10-1. It sounds like an easy bet, is it not? Like it's just them and the Cowboys. They're going to beat the Cowboys, aren't they?
Well, they're going to win they should win the division. That seems like an easy bet. But what I would say to you is the Cowboys are a team, and I know most Eagle fans will hate me for saying it. I respect the Cowboys, and mainly because of the fact is Dak Prescott in his entire career has never once been intimidated to come into Philadelphia and has never once been intimidated to go up against the Eagles. So I have the ultimate respect for that. A lot of other guys, Eli Manning, would wet their beds seeing the green. I don't know what it was. He was a spectacular quarterback that could win other big games, but when he played the Eagles, he was terrible. So I don't understand what it is, but I respect that about Dallas. What I'm thrilled, though, is they retained Mike McCarthy. And
right.
Honestly,
that's what I was going to say.
Seriously, I wouldn't pick him in a game of hungry hippos.
Right.
I mean,
I agree.
He's not going to strategize properly. I'm only going for the purple ones. No, come on, McCarthy. I mean, I'm so glad they retained him because I was worried they were going to do that they were going to go get somebody else. I thought Sean Payton was going to.
That was it. No, that was it. I was told that. I mean, that was told.
He's wanted that job for a long time, but they wouldn't pull the trigger because again, Jerry Jones would have to admit that he was wrong.
Correct. He was afraid of what that would look like.
Which is really, really hard, and so he doesn't want to do that. So, look at you, Dave. Dave's laughing. Come on. Right.
But it's the East Coast stuff.
Today, Matt, we were supposed to, as a family today, it's sad for me because we were supposed to go to Vegas, our annual summer trip to Vegas. We were supposed to fly out today, and we were going to try the Cosmo for the first time. And we were going to try the Cosmo now that it's folded under MGM Properties. We were going to try that out. And I was thinking I'm going to be over at Yellowtail at Bellagio having some sushi and playing by the pool. but I am forbidden from flying on a plane till this is all over.
Yeah.
But I am already scheduled. I'm gonna be flying on a plane to Vegas in February.
Let's do it.
Wonderful to me, and I'll see you guys there. And it'll be Fly Eagles Fly.
Dinner on us.
And if not,
Hell
you get the free bet on Bet Parks.
Listen, John,
and you can replay this, and it'll really sound like maudlin.
This was amazing. Thank you for the time. We are all
Love you
pulling
guys.
for you. Is there anything we can do for you? Can the brigade, anything we can do for you? Anything we can push out for you as you're going through this?
Okay, you know what you all could do?
Yeah.
Think of all the brigade members, and I see you guys and how active the brigade is on social media and everything. If you are above the age of 40 or 45, absolutely get your colonoscopy. Don't put it off. I was perfect. I thought I was perfectly healthy. I thought I was perfectly fine. I'd had a colonoscopy at 50. Thought I was okay. They told me to come back in 10 years. If I had come back 6 months later, they told me I would have been terminal. So what I would suggest to every brigade member, and I'm not just talking men, women too, you got to get your colonoscopies. It's something that is absolutely underdone. They're going to shift ages soon, I believe, with insurances and get it down to like 45. It can be a problem, and younger people are getting diagnosed with colon cancer. If you get colon cancer, I'm stage 3. It got into my lymphatic system a little. If they get it early, it is one of the most curable cancers. So, and if you get it stage 1, stage 2, you're not even doing chemo most likely. So just get tested. That would be the most wonderful thing, Matt, is if something out of the crappy experience I'm having ends up being a benefit to other people. That would be the greatest thing ever. And an Eagles Super Bowl win in February. That would be great too. I'll ask for that.
Tremendous.
But the brigade, and look, the guys I went to high school could have fixed that if it was the NBA. But I don't know what we can do.
We're going to keep in touch, okay?
We will. Absolutely.
We're all pulling for you. Best of luck as you guys go through this. Thank you for coming on. We really appreciate it.
Keep it up, John.
Thank you, man. Really, really appreciate it. John Kincaid in Philadelphia joining us here on the Bostonian versus the book. Great to get him on the show.
Love that guy.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things. It's just like, man, to have the humor, to have the ability to laugh like that. I mean, as I said before on Twitter, I mean, if you need an inspiration, follow that guy on Twitter. Watch what he's going through, and he's smiling through an absolute shitstorm. Right. And he's joking around and having a good time and doing a lot of, trying to educate people and tell them what's going on. And he's right about colonoscopies. I've had one. When I turned 40, I had one, but I need to go get another one. I know that. I haven't had it for 6 years. Yep. So it's definitely something that everybody needs, not just men. He's right. Everybody needs to start to be more aggressive with that because it's getting to be younger and younger.
You got to do it. I mean, I did it.
It sucks. It sucks.
It's not even that bad.
No, I mean, knock you out.
It upsets your stomach and your day for a little, 40, 24
hours. It's the overnight thing, the drink they make you drink. It's all that stuff. That's what it's a little inconvenience, but it's it could save your life, literally. So it's worth it.
It'll change your life for a day while you're drinking that stuff.
Heck yeah.
Don't schedule any appointments or anything.
No, you're going to see the bathroom a lot. You're going to be
close to the bathroom. Yeah. Brother Doug had the same thing. I mean, brother Doug had the colon cancer. That's what it was.
Did you really?
Yeah. Whoa. That's what he
did he have surgery or did he just
same thing? No, he had surgery and he did the chemo, and that's what we got the 3-year cancer-free clean report from. But he was 45, when it happened, and you never know. So, I mean, get it done, get it checked, and then, God bless Kincaid. He's at John Kincaid on the Twitter, right?
Yep.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
Just
Phenomenal.
K-A-N-C-A-D-E. Awesome dude, man. It was good to see.
Really, if that doesn't get you
fired up.
Yeah. I mean, that's somebody who's really, we're pulling for hard, and we're going to keep track of him and really keep up. And I can't wait to have that dinner in February. It's going to be an absolute blast to have him to be in there. Okay. So we talked a little bit about this already, but there is a different schedule for this show for the week. Okay. So we're here live. I'm in Vegas here. I'm on a plane tomorrow. So we don't have a show tomorrow. Right. So nothing tomorrow. Wednesday and Thursday, we're going to do it like we did it when Dave was in Arizona. I'm going to be in Boston. I'll be in my childhood home, basically, which is going to be pretty funny.
Can't wait for you to set up that shot. If you can get in that shot, what you said was a surprise to the people. Because
I've got some funny.
If you can do it, but
I have some funny memorabilia stuff from my sports days back in my high school days. So we'll try to find some stuff in the basement of my house. So we'll see if we can set this shot up. I don't know if it's going to be light enough. The only problem is the light issue might cause some concerns, but I don't want to do it on the main floor of my house because it's way too loud, way too crazy, and it will just be a complete mess. So I'm trying to figure out how I can do it. First thing I do when I get to the house tomorrow night is going to be to go downstairs and go, all right, where can I get this to be done? If I got to go buy a light, I mean, like go buy like one of those like interrogation lights or something.
Just buy an Amazon ring light. Just go to get a ring light sent to the house. It'll be there when you get there.
Oh, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah. This is what Jessica does for me. She's like, what do you need that you either forgot or you didn't know you had? She sends it ahead. And, last time we were in Seattle, she sent medicine at the front desk. I had to go pick up because Kendall had something going on.
Right.
I'm like, there's a store right around the corner. She's like, I didn't expect you to know what to get. So I had it sent right to the front desk. So go on Amazon, see what you need, and have it waiting for you when you get there.
I like that idea. All right. That's a good idea. I need to pack it, ship it, and I'll just leave it in Andover. That's great. Okay.
Yeah.
It's good job.
When we go back and do shows back east, the light's already there.
That's over there. All right. I like that. So no show tomorrow. Wednesday, Thursday, typical show as we'll do it. It may be a little earlier than normal because I can't really do a show at 3:00. My daughter will get really pissed off because it kind of ruins the whole day. I can't go into the city. I can't go out and do anything. So we may try to do it a little bit earlier than normal, 10:00 Pacific time, 1:00-ish, somewhere in that range. So I can go do an afternoon activity with my kid for Wednesday and Thursday. Friday, I go to Maine. So no show on Friday, no show on Saturday, no show on Sunday, no show on Monday.
You're going to have your own show up there.
Doing the juice up there is gonna be a riot. Who knows what I'm gonna do with that? I can't wait to figure it. I asked my mom,
mean with all the family. That show in itself will be fun. I mean,
I think it's gonna be okay. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. I think me and my stepdad under the same roof for 4 days could be a problem, though. There's no debate there. That has not happened since I said to my mom, like, last time that Sean and I were on the same roof for like multiple days. It's been a while. It's been like since I was like 18.
Yes, minus 220.
It's been a long time.
Being some dust ups.
Yeah, there might be a little, but luckily Madeline's there, so it kind of tempers everything down when she's there. But we're going fishing on Sunday morning, so looking forward to go out in Casco Bay and go. I've never gone striped bass fishing, so this is something my sister has taken up, and she really likes doing it. So I'm more of a deep sea fishing type of guy. This is more like a bay area type of thing, but they get to be pretty big. I mean, they can be up to 3 feet in length, so they can be pretty big fish. So we're going to do that on Sunday. I'm going to eat a lot of seafood.
You cut the bait and everything? Do you put the do you do all that stuff? Oh,
yeah. I don't do that. I mean, it's the guy who's taking us for free has a boat. He just said bring chum and bring me a case of Coors Light. I'll take you for free.
Oh,
so
good deal. That's a hell of a deal.
Yeah, it is. So my sister's boyfriend is an EMT, and so he knows a ton of people all in the Maine area. So this guy's got a boat, and they go out all the time with him. So so it should be that. My sister's really excited to kind of show off that and that part of her life and whatnot. So she's turning 24 now. So in July, so it's gonna be fun. July's a big month for my family. My brother's birthday, Madeline's birthday, my sister's birthday, my other brother's birthday. So got a lot of Cancers and Leos in my family. So we'll have that. So then on Monday, Tuesday, we're off for the 4th of July holiday. Wednesday will be a Twitter Spaces because I fly, and the traffic in Boston, I literally have no idea how early I'm going to have to leave for a 5:00 flight. They sent out a memo in New England that said, if you're going out of Logan Airport from July 5th to August 30th, leave 2 hours ahead of time because the traffic getting to the airport is going to be horrific. And I'm like, I'm dealing with rush hour.
Yeah.
And I'm dealing with traffic like that with problems with construction. I'm like, okay, I'm leaving at 1:00 for a 5:00 flight. So we'll do a Twitter Spaces of some sort, either with me I may do it in the car. I may do it at the airport. I don't know. We'll figure it out, but we'll do a Twitter Spaces on Wednesday. And then Thursday of next week, we're back and we're rolling here for what's going to be happening. Boy. So should be fun. So that's the schedule. It's pinned to the top of our Twitter account at Boston versus the Book, in case you are ever asking questions.
For those of you that cannot pay attention for that long, we no show tomorrow. Normal shows Wednesday and Thursday a little bit earlier. We'll put out the time. No show Friday. Next week, next week, we'll continue to talk about the schedule as we go. You went too far in advance for these people.
No, they're fine. Just tell them and then go back and listen.
I mean, like we got people in the chat going, what am I going to do tomorrow between 1 and 3 Central?
Sorry.
11 and 1 Pacific.
I'm on a plane at 9:00 in the morning, and I'm on a plane for 5.5 hours. Like
nobody wants to do a show with you when you land. That's for sure. I don't want to do a show with you when you land. You're going to be cranky as could be.
No, I want to because it's my last night of the hard 75.
Yeah.
Basically. No. Second to last night. Hard 75. That's Tuesday. Wednesday's the last night.
Right.
So I got to get rolling here. I got to get myself, I got tomorrow's workout. I got to run at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
Then I got to fly, go get situated, and then work out again when it's like midnight. Because normally I work out at 8 o'clock our time. It's 11 o'clock.
Sleep on a
Eastern.
plane?
I'm gonna try to do my last time trial run tomorrow to burn myself out, so I sleep on the plane. Yeah,
Oh, you
but
don't
I got a lot of
normally
work to
sleep
do.
on a plane?
I don't normally sleep on planes anymore. I used to when I was a partier young person. I could fall asleep anywhere. As I'm now a 46-year-old dad, my wits are a little more on edge when it comes to flying. I want to know what's going
Sleep
on.
on this show right now. I have 5 minutes. Literally,
I was always a window guy for years.
Oh, the best.
Get a window, get a pillow. Bam,
Yeah.
good night. I'll see you. See you in Boston.
Hat down for me like this. I'm gone. Bye-bye.
Nope, not anymore. Now
Why?
because now I use it for time to do work. Now it's time to we either do emails or because it's Wi-Fi. The planes got free Wi-Fi, so I can go ahead and do a bunch of emails and stuff. I can stream stuff.
Just
I
sit
download
back and watch 2 movies and then just read a book or something.
No, because I want to. On the way back, I tend to do that. But like going to somewhere on vacation, I'm normally pretty hyped up and excited, so I tend to not be able to do that. I want to burn the energy and do that, but that's why I'm going to run really early in the morning. So then I'll be more jacked up and like, okay, I'll burn it off and then maybe I will sleep. But I like
the airport.
Sure. You want to give me one?
I mean, I don't want you to park the car there for 9 days. It's
Okay.
gonna break you.
It'd be a lot. It'd be a lot. And
no need
Ubers
to
are
do
so inconsistent where I live too. So that's the other problem.
Yeah.
If you're volunteering, I'll take you up on it. The Sharapan taxi service.
Yeah.
You do that.
Believe me, I'm picking up and dropping off guys all the time. I don't mind. I know the best route now. I figured that out. So that's good. If we're leaving early enough too, you'll be there. That's no problem.
Yeah.
So
we'll talk about that.
We just had somebody pop in the chat, Sherry Chamberlain.
Okay.
She just pointed out, for those of you who can't pay attention that long, thank you, Dave. She just reminded everybody what I was thinking while
you could go
were talking.
That's
Sherry,
why I said top of the Twitter
show.
Hi,
thank you for being here. Bring some friends. There's a lot of good dudes in the brigade, and there's a lot of other women.
You play matchmaker? What are you doing?
No, I'm just happy. I looked down, I saw Sherry.
Oh,
this is great. It's the first time I've ever seen Sherry in the chat.
Nice.
So I wanted to welcome her
to
the brigade.
Very nice. Okay. Angels scored 25 runs on Saturday. Florida scored 24 runs on Sunday.
They did.
Which is more impressive?
One's
with aluminum bats. The other is in Colorado altitude.
Look at this Angel hat. Yeah, I pulled this one out too. This is
this is in the holy heck is that thing?
This is all the Angel emblems that they've had all paneled up, just like the Philly one. It's pretty wild, actually.
I can't believe you bought that.
I couldn't pass it up. I've never seen it before. So
No,
I'm a
nor have
sucker
I.
for the one-offs. I'm a sucker.
There's a
for the
reason
one-offs.
why it was available.
You can't just pull this off. Nobody can just wear this.
Yeah, I love Lindemann's in the back looking at you like with you have 5 heads. Like, what the hell is on your head? Like, what is that hat you were wearing? I'm with
It's
them.
an Angel over the years hat. It's more impressive that the Angels scored 25 in a major league game to me.
In Colorado.
Oh. So we're lessening that?
I mean, it's Colorado. I mean, we've seen this before.
They got metal bats and they got a team on a back-to-back that didn't have a blown-out pitching staff.
It is the World Series of college baseball. It's the championship series of college baseball against a bullpen that hadn't given up a run in 16 innings. LSU's bullpen was good. It was great, and they torched them.
Yeah, but you think it's the college?
I think it's ridiculous. I think it's actually a wash. I think you can make a case for either side being stupid, being really impressive.
Vescursion was doing the game Saturday night.
Okay.
At one point, one of the Rockies went to slide to second and slid 10 feet short of second base on a double play. And Vescursion goes, he stuck the landing. And I couldn't stop laughing. So I texted him during the game.
Right.
And I said, we're watching in Vegas. Have fun with this. And he kept talking about how they scored all those runs. And I'm looking at the in game and it's minus 23.5.
Yeah.
And it's 30.5 for a total in a baseball game. I was like, this can't be. And so he finishes the game. And he texts me after and he says, do you know the one guy? There was one guy on the Angels who didn't hit his total bases prop. You know who it was?
Shohei, right?
Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah, it was Shohei. Yeah, it was.
They scored 25 runs at 25-1, and he didn't go over his
Yeah, I saw somebody on Twitter who had a Mike Trout, Shohei Ohtani, and then some other same game parlay person, and they were pimping it like hard, going, "This is hitting, this is hitting." So I was paying attention to it, going like, "All right, let's see if that actually hits." And I was like, "Wow, Ohtani is the one that got him. It was like a plus 700 parlay."
Yeah,
and Ohtani's the one that burned him.
Listen, it's a weird. So when you get the interleague things now, you're going to get crazy matchups. You're going to get crazy results sometimes. I mean, the Angels go and have a run differential. SoCal tweeted it this morning. Have a run differential of like 30-12 in 3 games and lose the series.
Right? Because of obviously the second game.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's crazy stuff. But I mean, we got Lindemann waiting. We got to talk to him about the Reds. The Reds are the story.
Let's bring on our friend Matty here.
Matthew,
hold on one
What's
second.
What's good?
That we go with that. How are you,
great.
Matt Lindemann from WinBet, joining us here on the Bostonian versus the Book. What is up, my friend? How are you? It's been a minute.
Yeah, it's been a while. What's good, guys?
How was Cincinnati? All right. I mean, because I know you're a Reds fan. You've been a Reds fan for a long time. You're a baseball guy. You were there in the most electric atmosphere that they've had in years. I was watching the game Friday, couldn't wait to text you. Said, yes, I'm here. You went to the games Friday and Saturday. What was that like, Matty?
You know, I haven't seen anything like that in probably a decade now in Cincinnati. You know, I thought it was going to be like another 5 years before I might even get a chance to. But, I mean, yeah, just an unbelievable weekend in Cincinnati. Friday night, I mean, I wanted to go to the game. I saw them win Wednesday morning. I said, I got to go see this win streak. I know the place is going to be electric on Friday night. I couldn't in a million years have asked for a better game than what I got to witness. I mean, if you told me that I was going to be jumping for joy like a little kid when Ellie De La Cruz rounded second for that triple, man, I mean, I'm sitting here yelling, this motherfucker just hit for the cycle. Everybody's like, yeah, man, we know. But
how fast is he in person, Matty?
It is fucking crazy, man. I mean, he just glides around the bases. It is like a gazelle, man. So it's really fun to see this like new caliber of athlete that we haven't had in baseball yet. And I think, you know, kind of on the heels of Wembanyama, we're going to see that in NBA now. You're really going to get to start to see some of the freak show athletes that have been designated to a certain position in the past. You know, now they're letting them go play where they want to play. And it's so much fun getting to see a guy like De La Cruz, you know, perform this well this early. So, yeah, I mean, that game Friday was unbelievable. And then Saturday and Sunday, 2 really competitive matchups as well. I don't know if the Reds are going to hang around and stay in contention for the Central like the Braves are all year. But, yeah, I do think
you're fine.
No,
it's Perrault's landscapers. They didn't get the memo.
I was going to say, yeah. I was like,
you're
I think they're my landscapers.
But when Perrault's not talking, he's going to hit the mute button so we can all hear you, because we don't want to hear the landscaper. This guy's got to get the memo. I'm going to come over after the show, make sure if they're still there, they don't come between noon and 1 o'clock anymore. But go ahead, continue, sir.
Yeah, no, like I said, I think it's an exciting time in Cincinnati. And, you know, I gotta come on here and eat crow. You know, I said before the season, I liked Reds under. I did not think this team was even trying to be competitive. I didn't think the front office was trying to be competitive, but they've really gamed the game to the point where they figured out that this bigger base that they have now makes it much easier to steal bases, leading the league in stolen bases, leading the league in runs scored from second base on singles. They have found a way to manipulate the new rules to their favor, which is something that, as long as I've rooted for the Reds, they haven't been able to do. They've always been a step or two behind. So
why are they not the favorite to win the division yet? We got a lot of people that watch the show and they have a lot of questions, and they're like, you know, they put it to, you know, the BVB chat and the Discord channel and all this stuff at bvbshow.com. Why aren't the Reds the favorite? What are odds makers?
They're the third. They're the third option.
I know, behind the Cubs, but that's ridiculous. But Matty, why, to explain why they can't be the favorite yet?
How many games do we have left in the season? Probably 100. Just under 100. I mean,
90 something.
To ask that pitching staff, that starting rotation to hold up for another, you know, 100 games or whatever, or however long, you know, over half the season, it's just asking a lot. I mean, I'm projecting some of these guys above 5 ERAs when they're going out there. Lodolo's been on the DL. I think Hunter Green just went on the DL.
Yep.
So, I mean, they're two young guys they really need to, help them stay competitive or are not there right now. So, if they have another injury or two, they're really scraping the bottom of the barrel. They're going to be rotating guys in and out through AAA. So, no matter how well you're hitting the ball, no matter how athletic you are defensively and on the base pass, if you don't have any starting pitching, we all know it's a long season. It's going to catch up with you eventually. I think
who's going to win the Central, Matty? Like, this is the hard part. I mean, because the Pirates were so good early, they've gone backwards. They're so far behind now. That looks like that's going to be a long mountain back. But the Brewers, these Cubs people, Matthew, these Cubs people keep coming. They, got Brommelkamp. Tell them, like, the Cubs aren't winning the division, are they?
Cubs are embarrassing, man. They just went out and bought a bunch of guys to sell tickets. They're going to sell them all at the trade deadline. That's exactly what they did. They went out, got a bunch of guys they knew they could sell tickets with. And then when we get to August or July 31st, they're going to ship them all away, and they're going to end up with 71 wins or whatever it is. I think it's probably the Brewers. I mean, you still have to give the Brewers the credit. It's still probably the best organization in the Central. They're year to year, they're always in the mix. And I know the hitting's questionable and the pitching hasn't been as good. I know Corbin Burns hasn't been nearly as good, but that's still the team I would trust the most to figure it out. I'm amazed by the Cardinals.
Dead? Matty, is St. Louis dead?
I don't understand it, man. But yeah, they're not any good. Them and the Mets, man. Those two organizations are struggling right now. So yeah, I don't know. It's going to be fascinating to see if the Reds can hang around. I would really hope that the front office can suck it up and make a move at the deadline for some pitching if they're still in this position in a month or two. But again, part of the reason I'm kind of a bandwagon Reds fan because this organization really is unwilling to commit to winning when they have a chance, or they've proven that over the last decade. So this is a great opportunity for them to show they're committed and they're serious about making a move.
Will they move young talent to get an arm or two, or are they going to hang on to all the young kids that they've got? Because they could be buyers at the deadline, but they're probably going to give up a kid or two in order to do it.
Nah, I mean, they always seem to adopt the approach of focusing on the future and never selling the future for now. One of their big problems is it's very rare to see them give away a young prospect for someone who can help them win today. So that's one thing. I don't think they're probably going to go out and give away any key pieces or anyone in the future because they can probably see that this next 2 or 3 year window is their window to jump in and take advantage of that division. So it's going to be interesting. I don't know if they're going to be able to pull anything off for this year. I don't know if I want them to, honestly. It's tough to say. But, in the past, they really have sat on their hands. They haven't really gone out and made that move or gone and gotten that guy that they need. So I wouldn't hold my breath on that.
You've been to Omaha, right, for the College World Series, Matty?
I went last year. I went 1 year too soon for sure.
Right.
It's been so good this year. All right. The games have been competitive, but like Perrault's been talking about these bars and the Jello shots and the LSU's been so good and how much fun it's been. We got game 3 tonight. One game for everything. And crazy game 2, 24 runs for Florida, blowout. That game on Saturday night had me riveted to the TV. The kids were watching it. Tommy Tanks with the home run. There were so many fun things. You got a lean or a side or a total tonight on this college baseball game? Or is it like one of those ones where we're at the end, just put up the number and book the game?
Yeah, I'll be honest. I think book or like handicapping these College World Series games are really hard. You take the teams completely out of their element, playing in a neutral site, been staying in hotels for 4, 5, 6 days. I think it's a little bit tougher to handicap than, super regionals and all that. But yeah, I mean, it's really tough to make an argument for the over at this point. I'll say that. I think yesterday was the first over we've had in Omaha. I think in all of Omaha. Right. And the wind's been blowing in for like a week straight.
Well, Florida, Virginia went over. It was a 6-5 final.
Okay, but snuck over.
It's been a consistent under. I bet the under yesterday. It's a consistent under.
Oh man.
Yeah. So like I had Florida to win, but I had the under as well. So like I got killed on that. You got Florida right, but you're right on that point. So you think it's more game 3 looks like game 1, not game 2.
Yeah, I think game 2 is just a complete throwout. Basically, once LSU got to probably down 8-3 or 9-3, they said, okay, it's time to key in on game 3. I don't think they were too concerned with what happened in the last few innings of those games. But someone texted me today and said, well, the team that lost 24-4 has to win today, right? And I said, man, have some respect. It's game 3 of the College World Series. Like, these teams are going all out tonight. So
it's Skeens, though. I mean, you got obviously a top 3 pick in the draft starting for LSU in this game was going to go probably 6 innings.
Yeah, I mean, I figure looking at his pitch count, he's good for 60 to 70 really quality pitches.
Yeah,
and I think if he's still pitching at the same level after that, we got to start to ask if he's superhuman because, I mean, this is insane. Like, I went and saw him pitch against Kentucky in the Supers, and they were just trembling in the box. They were terrified.
Yeah.
The intimidation factor that this guy has right now is through the roof. So.
Maddie, could you get in the box and even make contact with that at this point? Do you think
1-on-1?
No,
I'm bending the knees and trying to draw ball 4, man. That's all I'm doing.
Bunt.
try to shrink that strike zone a little bit. That's all I'm trying to do. No joke. Hey, senior year of high school, I got put in for that. No joke. 3-2 count. Got put in to try to draw ball 4.
No, you did not.
Threw it right down the middle.
Did the coach tell you not to swing?
Told me not to swing. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What the hell is that?
Are you okay with the price? I mean, it's game 3 of a best of 3, 140 on LSU. Is the price okay there? It seems a little
160.
Now it's 160. Okay, so we know what Skeens is pitching. We know that. So that tells you we know for a fact LSU's got their ace going. But it seems expensive for a toss-up game, no?
It's a little steep, but Florida's advantage, their biggest advantage over everyone, is they have really strong. Their top 2 starting pitchers are really strong, and Caglione, who's the switch hitter, the Jack Tani, I think he's probably their 3rd guy. I want to say he's projected tonight because Perrault and Waldrop pitched the last 2 days.
Right.
So there's a little bit of a drop off there, though. I know he's been pitching well, but it's not quite the same level as those first 2 guys. And I mean, again, we just haven't seen anything from Skeens that says that anyone can hit this guy or that he can't, he throws strikes, pounds his own consistently. He doesn't walk, doesn't have control issues. So, what have we seen to say the number shouldn't be even higher? This guy has probably won 90% of his starts, and you only got to lay 150, 160 with him. So,
right.
I don't know. I'm not playing anything, but.
Yeah, I've got a plus 435 on LSU. I've got a minus 110 on Florida, but I doubled down with LSU. I think they win tonight. I think it's just going to be too difficult for Florida to score, given the bullpen won, but then I think you're going to get 6 innings of the Skeens tonight, and it's going to be really difficult for them to manufacture. My question on the other side is, can Florida hold LSU's offense down? Game 1, runners all over the place for LSU, and they couldn't score until they finally got the win 4-3. So, yeah, I think so. You like the under tonight. So it's, like a side, under is a better play.
I mean, if I got to play something, that's what I'm going with. I can't really make an argument for over with what I've seen. So
make an argument for this quarterback tackles future market, because we traded a couple texts about things to talk about, and I started laughing and I said, I'm saving this for the show. So this is the show, Bostonian versus the book, the BVB. You're on it with Matt and I. Your Twitter handle again for the people is what, Matthew?
Lindy Train.
At Lindy Train. You've come up with a tremendous, this is I have never heard of this. It never would have occurred to me to do this. This would be one of those conversations in the room where I would go, that's genius. Tell the people about this market, please.
Yeah, this is going to be awesome, I'll admit. So we had some kind of joke about, pick sixes or who was going to throw the most pick sixes this year. And I said, man, did they record tackles for the quarterbacks? Like, do the quarterbacks ever get tackles on the picks to try to prevent the pick six? And they said, yeah. So we looked it up, and sure enough, we found a chart from last year that charted all the QB tackles, and Josh Allen led the league with 3 tackles last year. So Josh Allen, of all the quarterbacks in the NFL, was the most eager to atone for his mistake, get in there, make the tackle. Whereas guys like Tua, probably going to be 1,000-to-1 with their concussion history, going to stay far away from everyone, not get involved with any contact. So we're sitting here, we're trying to handicap the guys, So, they're like, they think Russell Wilson might be a sleeper in the room with how everything went last year, team guy, good attitude. But no, it's fascinating. I think the biggest issue we're going to have with this market is that it's probably going to be a tie. There's pretty good chance that we're going to have 3, 4, 5 quarterbacks who have the same number of tackles, especially if it's, like last year, everybody just has 2 tackles. So we might have to apply some type of stipulation, like guy throws the least amount of picks or something like that, just in case there are. Yeah. Just, the guy who had the least amount of opportunities to get a tackle should probably be paid out in a tiebreaker situation, I think. But if we do dead heat, you got, might be splitting it 4, 5, 6 ways. So we still need to kind of figure out.
The dead heat rule sucks.
Does
it not?
It's not great, but it's just tough if you don't have room or an area to, put all the stipulations. You have nothing else you can really do,
Right.
What if a quarterback pushes a DB out of bounds? Is that recorded as a tackle? Do you know?
I couldn't even find a place to go look up all the quarterbacks' tackles in one place. You got to search the quarterback by quarterback and find their defensive stats.
Because guys get in the way, right? Like
I have no
quarterbacks
idea.
just become like the impediment for the DB. And is that considered a tackle if I just guide you out of bounds or I push you out of bounds versus quarterbacks aren't wrapping and tackling. So we're going by the stats as to what the stat would quantify as a tackle. Chat, do me a favor. Find out if there's actually terminology for what is considered a tackle, because that would be interesting, because I've seen Josh Allen literally tackle a DB because he's bigger than the DB, so he'll hit him. Yeah. But most quarterbacks are not going to do that. They're going to lay down, or they're going to try to be, it's get in the way of a guy returning the ball. Right?
I don't know about that. Yeah. That's Maddie. That sounds like you're going to have to go to the house rules, or you're going to have to rewrite the stipulation unique to win bet, something like that. You may be opening up a whole can of worms, but I love that. What other? So you're working on NFL props and different things like this. Now, for us in the business, and I mean, especially baseball guys like this is always one of those times a year where it's like, what are we talking about this for? And Perrault wants to start talking about NFL season wins like yesterday and all this stuff. There's not that much action on this shit yet, is there?
No, this is one thing I'm really trying to evolve with, is not letting high energy me in the summer write checks that low energy me in August and September can't cash, and putting up a bunch of futures when you're bored in the summer. It's a terrible idea. I've made the mistake so many times. Let's throw this up. There's nothing going on. And no one bets it but sharp guys. No one bets it unless you got a scalp up. No one bets it unless you got a bad number up.
Right.
And then you just sit around and wait. And then when you start getting busy in August with all the football stuff, it becomes completely overwhelming trying to deal with all these preseason markets you made when you were bored back in June. So I'm trying my best to sit on my hands. I mean, we're going to do this quarterback tackle thing, but other than that, we mostly just have generic markets that everyone's offering, like awards and stuff like that, rushing, passing leader, stuff like that. So, it's tough, but again, I could go throw up all 130 FBS win totals now. We're not getting a single square bet. We're not writing a single dollar we want to write until at least August 15th. So, I'm just really not trying to put us in that spot.
All right. Well, before I let you go, what is your outlook for Kentucky football next year? How are you feeling about your Wildcats?
Well, they got the offensive coordinator back that they had 2 years ago. That really helped them break out. So I think that's a big plus. And knowing Stoops, I know he's got to be a little bit sour about last year being disappointing. So I think this is a good year for them to, bounce back, win 7-8 games, and perform a little bit better than they did last year. They just really didn't have any playmaking outside of Levis, and he struggled with injuries, and there was just a lot of distractions and pressure with all the draft stock and stuff like that. So I think this would be a good year for Kentucky to bounce back and be competitive again in the SEC.
I got one more.
This is one of the craziest years going into the SEC. When you start breaking down, I mean, there are question marks at Alabama, at Georgia. There's question marks all over Tennessee. I mean, this is a year like a team like Kentucky could actually rise up. This could be a really fun year for someone not of the brand name SECs every year, right? I mean, this is a wide open
SEC football for.
I'm not biting on this, Matt.
Thank you. Tell him, Maddie.
Georgia's going to beat us by 35. I don't fucking care if they start a janitor. I don't care who they start, man. We had no shot. It's just
I disagree.
It's a different world. It's a different world. It is so crazy. And I got a little taste of it with the LSU baseball. It's just a different world, And I mean, Kentucky wants to be competitive, but you just don't have the athletes. You don't have the dudes. So
speaking of not competitive, this is the last one for me, and we'll let you go. The Aces number every single day is comical. I know how much Mo takes pride in them WNBA numbers and this and that. What the hell do you do in the book to make a number for the Aces and take bets? I mean, is anyone betting the other side of an Aces game with you guys?
I can't believe you just asked me this, because I totally forgot that I bet at Westgate yesterday. I bet the limit on, who do they play on Thursday? Liberty. Liberty plus 8.5 against the Aces. So I told everyone, I guess I'm going to a WNBA game on Thursday or Friday, whatever it is.
Taking the dog.
I mean, the Aces are clearly like the first super team we've had in WNBA. They're like the Heat of 10 years ago. It sucks. It's lame. I don't think it's cool. Like, it's not enjoyable watching them beat every team by 20 or 25. But, yeah, I've got them like 4 points power rated ahead of the next best team, which is the Liberty. God. So I took 8.5 in that game. I think it should be probably like 5.5, 6. But, yeah, it's ridiculous. Like, we got a guy in the room who bet minus 115 on the Aces to win the champ. We still got the whole season ahead. I think it's up to like 160, 170 now some places. So, yeah, this is not – I don't think it's ideal. I don't understand why we're doing the super team thing in the WNBA. But
they play tonight. They're minus 15. I may take the girls down. If I go, I'll send you a text. Meet you down there, hang out a little bit.
Hey, twice in 1 week. I don't know if I need 2 games in 1 week, but I will be at the Liberty game if you want to go on Thursday or Friday. I might not be that friendly. I might not be social. I might be yelling at the girls, but
I like it when you don't have a bet on the game when I see you. Thanks for joining us, sir.
That's fair. Thank you, Matty. Appreciate it, man. We'll talk soon, all right?
All right. Thank you, guys.
That is Matt Lindemann joining us here on the Bostonian versus the Book. Good to get him on.
You, sir. We got 2 guests in and out. The show's still going. You flip the screen and we're good to go. Bam, bam, bam.
Yeah, we're all good. We're good. Just got to pull that down and then we're good to go.
Work.
Good to go. Rolling on things. Yeah, we're all good. So that was great. So to get them both in here, that was a lot of fun. Let's go to talking from basketball, WNBA into the NBA odds. So we've had a little time. Thursday, this trade went down with the Suns sending CP3. We didn't talk about it much because it happened after the show on Thursday, and then Friday was Roll Call Friday. So we've had the weekend now. The number is not moving. Now, I know it's really early, okay? I get it. But what do you think the reaction is going to be, with the Suns at plus 650, CP3 goes to the Warriors. Sorry, let me rewrite that to the Warriors. But the Suns number is still at plus 650, and the Warriors aren't considered to be that big of a threat here. Do you like CP3 on the Warriors?
I don't know yet. I don't know. Is he going to accept a lesser role?
He is, but the size problem he presents is the one argument that kind of blew up my thought about him being a leader in the locker room. When he's on the floor with Steph Curry, they're tiny.
Right.
They're really, really small. Like in the West, they are against a team like Denver. They can't play Chris Paul and Steph Curry at the same time.
I just got a text from a guy named Eric. He's in charge of this other people's media thing. He said he's watching the show now. It looks great. You're doing a great job. We're going to set up a call with him and we're going to discuss some things. Cool. He's a basketball guy too, but he's a Laker guy. I don't even want to mention that. Okay. Sorry, E. I had to mention that. That doesn't affect the odds, one, because I think you have that question. And then, you and I do the show and I'm sitting in a room and I go, hey, Perrault said that there's a size disadvantage and this and that. What do you guys think? And they go, ain't nobody bet it. We're not moving the number. So I don't think it's a big enough move to move the number, but it's a big enough move to at least put a thought in your head. I don't know where he fits in. Like, is he gonna start?
I don't think so. No, I mean,
right?
I guess the biggest question is Draymond, and is he back? They want him back. They get Draymond Green back, but think about if they played Draymond Green, Steph Curry, and CP3 on the floor at the same time. I mean, that's a college basketball lineup. That is a microscopic in the NBA size different. I mean, that's 3 positions where you have a legitimate 4 to 5 inch differential of what other teams are going to start up against you.
They're going to do that too small.
Yeah, that's a too small team. That is a very small. That's why, I mean, I liked the CP3 meal until I talked to someone I really respect, and they were like, you do know the size problem that team has now, right? Undersized 3, undersized 2, undersized point guard. You can't do that in the NBA. Like, you can't play them together. It won't work with CP3 and Curry on the floor at the same time. And Draymond already is a problem at the 3. So what do you do rebounding wise? Teams are going to, Like imagine Wembayama, like you have a 7'4" guy, like
right.
He's gonna be like you're not gonna you can't touch the basketball. Like it's a problem.
Gonna get shots off at least,
kind of, but you're gonna have still problems. I mean, Curry can get his shot off, but CP3 really is smaller than Curry. So this is gonna be. I like the trade a lot until I had that conversation, and then I was like, you know what? That's a really good point. Yikes. Even Klay Thompson's not the biggest of guys,
right.
So like, how do you just have a really small basketball team in an era where Kristaps Porzingis is going to play a wing position for the Celtics. Wembanyama is going to play on the post, but not really. He's going to be out there shooting threes at times as well. Joker shoots threes at 6'11". Like, Michael Porter Jr. is 6'10".
Right.
And you're going to match up Curry or CP3 on one of those, or even Thompson on those guys. Just a massive mismatch in size.
I don't know. The summer league's coming. That's my next order of business.
Well, first, before you do that, speaking of summer league, Wembanyama's coming here. He will play. We don't know how much he's going to play yet for the Spurs, but he is going to play a little in summer league. He's already minus 160 to win the Rookie of the Year.
Who's going to bet anyone else?
I mean, Scoot Henderson's plus 400.
What about
before
Brandon
you see
Miller?
him play a single game
Miller?
in the NBA? What?
Where's Miller?
I didn't see Miller where he is, but I mean, the closest is second is more than plus 400 is where Miller is.
Let me see here.
I mean, we just know Wembanyama is going to come in and help the Spurs dramatically. He's not going to get hurt. He's not going to get bodied.
Well, no, I mean, we don't know anything, but
I'm shocked at this. 160. You're laying juice on this?
Well, who's going to bet anyone else, at least at the beginning?
I would bet Miller. I'd bet Henderson. I'd bet anybody else but him, to be quite honest.
Well, that's fine.
I'm not laying juice on a Rookie of the Year in June.
Wait, Chet Holmgren is eligible for this?
Yeah, because
he's on the list.
He got hurt in summer league. Remember?
Yeah.
He didn't.
So
play
you
enough
just
games.
get another rookie year, I guess. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So it's Wembanyama minus 160. Henderson is plus $4. Holmgren, Chet is plus 650. And then Brandon Miller is 13 to 1. The Thompson twins brothers are 25 and 40 to 1.
Yep.
I mean, you could get nice numbers on them and kind of take an advanced position that Wembanyama does get hurt. That's what you're betting against, right? Like that's why you bet.
Or maybe
those
he
other
just
guys.
takes some time. I mean, why do we think this guy's going to step into the NBA and be like unbelievable?
Don't you read all the reports? It's he can't miss. That's what everybody keeps saying.
Yeah, he can't miss as a 25-year-old. Okay, I'll give you that when he puts some weight on. But he's got 3 or 4 years to go before he's going to be. I mean, everyone's like he's Tim Duncan, he's David Robinson. Tim Duncan and David Robinson took time to develop.
Right.
And step into that position and dominate.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know.
It's on a bad team. He's going to have to find guys to get in the basketball. He can create his own shot because he'll shoot over the top of people and he'll get the ball a lot. But I don't understand this idea of him being minus 160. That seems that market's out of whack to me.
It is, but again, it's a limited market as far as name recognition for most people.
Mm-hmm.
You have to make him a minus money favorite, which again, you could make the argument if we were in the room, make him even money. Let them bet him to the favorite, but they're going to bet him anyway. So you start him as the minus, see if you can get money on another choice from Maddie said sharp guys. I call them rhombuses, parallelograms. I need to know what those guys might be thinking otherwise. So those prices are fair. I mean, you could take a shot. You'll know right now. I'm interested in the Holmgren thing. Like that's as soon as I saw that, I see that plus 650. I'm like, wait a second. The guy's been rested, obviously. I don't know how healthy he is. So that's the first thing I got to check. But a whole year of rehabbing and practicing as a pro without going to History 101 and all these other classes. That one intrigues me of that list.
Interesting. All right, time for the Brigade Proxy Service story of the day in the NFL. You wanted to say something here before we talk about this, though, just a little bit about what's going on with the contest signups, right? So how we're going to wind up when you come to town, where you can sign up, how you can sign up. There's other places we can do this. The Westgate starts on July the 1st. Right. So Circa's and all Circa for because they started May 25th. The Westgate Super Contest and our service does them both Circa and Westgate, both NFL pick contests. We're going to service them both. If you come to town July 1st, you can start signing up at the at the Westgate or July 1st. The Westgate has one location for the Superbook.
Yes.
It has multiple locations around town.
Correct.
So if you're staying up on the Strip and you say, oh man, getting downtown is going to be difficult, we have other places we can help you get signed up for the Survivor and the Million contest.
Correct. There's multiple locations downtown we can meet you at. We can meet you just off the Strip. There's a location at Tuscany we can meet you at. Henderson, Gorov and I are trying to coordinate a time. He lives out in Henderson.
Good.
Gorov's going to do this BVB Brigade team entry.
Yep.
And they're hiring us to be the proxy, as insurance, because if Gorov's out of town or sleeping or whatever, we'll be able to put the picks in that way. I'm going to meet him, I think, at the Pass in Henderson.
Nice.
Try to come out just to meet the people there and see the process. But we're streamlining it pretty good. I mean, we're meeting people all over. I wanted to mention this, though. I got a DM from someone who was like, I don't know. It's expensive to fly out right now. I don't know if I can come and stay and sign up for the contest and this and that. And I said to you last night, what do you think of this idea? We can offer you the same day service. You can fly in the morning from wherever. I mean, the West Coast is easy. It's a short flight. Come in, get to whatever property you want to get to. We'll meet you there. You can have a meal if you'd like. I went and had like a late lunch, early dinner with one of the guys that signed up with us yesterday. And then I'll take you back to the airport after you sign up and you can get a flight back. So fly in, land by 9 a.m., 10 a.m., get to the place, bring the money, sign up, pay the proxy fee, get you something to eat and get you back on a plane. You're home the same night. It's a long day, but you don't have hotel costs. You don't have other travel costs, Uber costs, all that other stuff. It's a one day sign up. I've seen people do this.
I know on the East Coast, it's a long day, but it's not on the West Coast.
Right.
If you're in Seattle, Portland, San Francisco, LA, Phoenix, Denver, Salt Lake City, I mean, we're talking about an hour flight.
Right.
Hour down, get out, walk, meet us there, Uber to wherever you're going to go, meet us, sign up, eat a meal, turn around, back on a plane. It can be a 7 to 8 hour day. I mean, it can be not hard for you to get in and out of here.
Yeah.
You can leave at 9, you'd be home by 5. It's not insane to do that for a same day spin around. So like, if you are thinking about doing the contest and you don't want to have the full expense of, doing a Vegas trip, you can just come to Vegas quickly, bang in and out, and we can make sure that it works. So when you're emailing us, brigadeproxy@gmail.com to book your appointment, and more people are doing that. And we appreciate all of you. August is going to be really busy. Last week of July, also, a lot of people coming in. A lot of people August 10th, 12th, 13th, last week of July. Yep. Appreciate you guys emailing us to have it. The email address is always on the bottom of the screen on YouTube. It's not for Sports Grid, but for YouTube, it's always scrolling. So if you're like, what's that email address? brigadeproxy@gmail.com. But if you forget it, underneath us scrolling is the email address to email to set up an appointment to sign up.
Like Reverend Jim said in Taxi years ago, one of those great scenes when he asked, what does a yellow light mean? And they said, slow down. And he said, what does a yellow light mean? I'm going to say, brigadeproxy@gmail.com,
or underneath
send it there, or on Twitter @brigadeproxy. Send a DM.
Yeah,
there's a number there as well
to
text and set up a time. We're lining up times. We got this fancy ass spreadsheet and all this coordination where we're getting down there. We're meeting you. It's great too because listen, I mean, like I got this other hat here from Jay Buckley. We met Jay.
He did give you the hat. I didn't ask you.
Look at this thing.
I told you think you'd love that hat. I told you.
This thing is tremendous. It's the New Hampshire something. I'm
Fisher
sorry,
Cats.
Jay. What is it?
New Hampshire Fisher Cats. They play in Manchester.
Fisher Cats.
The AA of the Toronto Blue Jays.
It's a tremendous. I love the blue. I love the orange. And this chicken.
It's a phenomenal hat.
It is great. It looks great. He designed a BVB hat that he took back with him and his lovely wife Ashley. They celebrated their 10-year anniversary. He hopped around. He got a great experience. He was here for a couple days. And if you're in Boston, make sure you go see him at the book.
Yeah.
You know, he works in the book.
I'm trying to figure out how
dude.
That's where Emerson and I might wind up going. I don't know. We got to figure out where we're going to wind up heading.
My.
I don't know where we're going. We got to figure that out as to what so that might be where we go. I don't know. We may go to the book.
What hat size when you wear a fitted hat are you?
I think I'm 7 1/4.
I think you're 7 1/4 too. I know I'm 7 3/8. Mr. C's in the chat. He texted me last night, and I apologize for not responding. It's been a very busy morning getting those guys lined up and the guests and everything that we were doing. So I apologize. But Chris C's coming to Vegas. He's going to signed up. He's coming. He's going to come in July. He's doing a contest. Another, brigade member who's using the proxy service. Thank you, sir. He wants your hat size 7 1/4. I'm 7 3/8.
Yeah.
People are bringing us hats. We're trying to bring the hats to the people. Listen, I know we're getting those DMs and you guys want to buy hats. We're going to do it that way. If you send a DM and you want to buy a hat and you want it off, the original design is right over Perrault's shoulder. That's easy. If you want that on a hat, you pick the color of the hat and say, I want the original design. And then we'll get your name, address, and we'll tell you how much it costs and the shipping and all that other stuff if you want to do that. If you want to design it, you can do that too. Just send a DM to Matt's DMs are open. The show's DMs are open, right?
Yep. And proxy. All three are open. Yep.
And the proxy service DMs are open. But at Boston versus the book, at Sports Talk Matt, if you and I have communicated, my DMs with you are open. So it's can I sign up at the Big Bright World Series of Poker sign? Tyler just never stops. He never stops. The guy wants to sign up there. He's trying to move in your house. What the hell's going on over there? He wants to come stay with the people.
I thought about it.
And I talked about him staying with his assless chaps in my house.
I thought about letting him stay here, and then I just realized the dogs are just too mean. It's just that they don't like.
Definitely too mean.
They don't like me. They don't like men. They're okay with.
They don't like you.
They like me at times, but they don't like anybody. They just don't like anybody at the moment. They're just, they bark and yell and scream and do other things. So I thought I was like, then I'm going to Tyler's going to get bit and it's going to get all nasty. And so
we don't want that.
It's a bad idea. So we scrapped. He's
going to go win a World Series of Poker. We don't
want
him getting bit. That's for sure.
If he's at the final table, like we got to figure out a way to get a BVB hat on him or something.
I'm going to dress him. I'm going to wrap him like a claw in BVB stuff. He's looking good. He's going to have all of the stuff. I'm trying to figure out how to get the listening glasses like this. Like, if he wears glasses while he plays with a BVB logo somewhere. BVB.
I think the hat's okay. You doesn't need BVB glasses. I might look a little excessive, but I like the idea for a hat. Put him in a hat. I like that a lot. So brigadeproxy@gmail.com is the email address to send us and do that on this. I love when people text me and say, hey, is this Matt? Yeah, it's me. Like I don't know who you are clearly, but you have my number somehow. So, hey, Matt, is this Matt? What am I supposed to respond to that? Like
maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. Am I? Like,
when people call on the phone and look who's calling right now. Look who's calling right now. Here, I'm going to put this on speaker. This is great.
You're going to answer this phone call? Who are you calling
right now?
Oh, no.
Hello? Dubsy,
oh my
I'm on
gosh.
the air right now with Matt Perrault on Bostonian versus the book. Can you tell the people hello, please?
What up, ladies and gentlemen? Happy Monday!
You had to think, like, do I want to do that?
Yeah. Oh, no. We had to answer the phone. Dubsy, we're doing the show live right now. We'd like to have you on at some point.
Yeah.
But we cannot talk right now. Can we call you later?
Absolutely. I'm going to put my pants and t-shirt back on anyway, Dave, so we'll do it later.
That was a live drop in from Dubsy. Thank you, brother. I'm happy for you, and I'll talk to you in a little while.
Ciao, big man. Talk soon.
See ya.
He had a big announcement over the weekend, so we have to get him on. So all right. So the Brigade Proxy Service NFL story of the day. Where do you think Dalvin Cook's playing next year? The new rumor is the Jets.
I saw that. Is there legs to this?
There might be. I mean, Breece Hall and Dalvin Cook in the same backfield with Aaron Rodgers. Okay. I'm paying attention. That's pretty impressive if you can find a way to make it work. The question would be, does New York have the money to offer that Dalvin Cook because he's going to be expensive, you would think.
Does he want to go there?
I mean, I think he wants to go somewhere to win. Yeah. So I think he wants
why
to.
would you go to the Jets? All the winning they've done over the years.
Well, that's fair, but I think you're playing with Aaron Rodgers. There's the anticipation that they're going to be good. Their offensive line is good. I mean, the Patriots have been, if they miss on Hopkins, the Patriots are the next option potentially. There's been some talk about, but the Patriots, but Ramondre Stevenson has Bill Belichick, like people were saying, like he has a shrine to Stevenson. Like Belichick loves him so much that he doesn't think he'd want to bring in Dalvin Cook to take away from what Stevenson's going to do.
He caught a guy after he ran for 200 yards.
Mm-hmm. But he
Bill
really
likes running backs.
But Bill likes Stevenson a lot, supposedly, like the multifunction, catching the football. But Cook does all that too. I mean, the screen game, Dalvin Cook is one of the most dangerous running backs in the game.
I mean, you get another guy if he wants to come there. I mean, I think the New England fit is great.
It is. But the Jets could be too. I mean, the Jets may not be bad either. I don't know. He wants to get paid. That was part of the problem with the Vikings. He wanted to get paid. So who was lining up to pay a running back? Nobody.
The Patriots are not.
No. So it's like you have to, same with Hopkins. It's the same thing. Hopkins is the same question. Patriots want to offer short-term dollars. Hopkins wants this, veteran schedule that Belichick is maybe or maybe not going to give him. But we're getting late into the season here from the offseason. I mean, it's almost July. Camps open up in 3 weeks for certain teams.
Tweeted yesterday. The season starts 11 Sundays from yesterday.
Yeah. So like you got to sign.
It's getting close, but like veterans don't need the training camp as much as other people do.
Fair. But changing teams?
You want to try to get the guy in as soon as possible when you're changing teams. Did you see in that graphic that I tweeted it was obvious who had the most losses over the last 20 years in the NFL. There's no mystery. Cleveland, we love you. Let me hear you, Cleveland. It was the Browns by far. The Detroit Lions were second.
By the way, it's not it's both iterations. What year did the Ravens go to Baltimore?
Put that in the chat. I don't know off the top of my head.
90 was it in the late 90s? I guess it has been 20 years they've been in Cleveland.
This thing said 20 years.
I buy it. Yeah.
Cleveland by far, and then Detroit second. Do you know? Obviously, who had the least amount of losses in the 20 years.
Of course, best franchise in football.
Did you see? I'm going to let that one slide. Did you see? It's
Why?
fair, though. It's fair.
Why?
It's fair.
It's
fair. It's fair. It's fine.
Okay.
Did you see who had the second least losses in the 20 years?
Yeah, I did. Yes, you pointed it out.
It's nighttime in Pittsburgh behind me. It's the Pittsburgh Steelers.
It's been nighttime for a long time there.
It's been a while. It's been a while. And I want to thank the Goose for coming in over the top saying that the team with the least amount of losses won all them Super Bowls, and the team that's second in the losses only won 20% of that same number of Super Bowls in that time. And I said, he's still good at the math. That's good. Good for him.
Patriots, I'm fully aware of this, and I fully believe this. That the Patriots will not win a Super Bowl again in my life. And I'm completely cool with it. Wow. Completely cool with it. I would love it, but I am completely 100. We're going to be the Cowboys, and it's going to be 30 years, and we're going to be looking back on it and thinking about Belichick and thinking about Brady and everything else, and I'm totally fine with it.
Wow.
I'm completely fine with it. No one will ever replicate what the Patriots did.
And I mean, God bless. I hope you live to be 100. That's 54 years.
It
They're
won't
not
happen.
going to win a Super Bowl.
Don't believe so. I'm okay with it. I mean, I fully believe that was the run. You don't get to enjoy that run more than once. Any run. Like you do that's a deal with the devil in sports, and you just don't get to see it again.
Wow.
Stars aligned in perfection for the Patriots to do over 20 years. Nobody will match that 20-year run ever. They had 92 losses, right? That said, in 20
years.
92 losses in 20 years. Never happening again.
Every time you say it, it sounds more ridiculous.
Never happening again.
Damn it.
We're just right now.
Wasn't expecting that in the BVB or BPS proxy service portion of the show. That was good.
Yeah. All right, we'll roll through better to book it here for our friends at Sports Grid before we let them go. LSU money line minus 140 last night. I bet it. If it's 160 right now, sorry, that number is not available.
Right, that number's long gone. Long gone. Bye-bye.
Is that
It's
pro money
minus
that did that?
170.
Pro money did that?
Less money in the pot, quicker to move it bigger.
Okay.
You have to move it to get a bet on the other side. So, I mean, the take back is plus 140 in a lot of places already. One of the places offshore just moved to minus 170, plus 150.
Damn.
This is a deluge. Deluge.
So everybody's
LSU
on.
money.
And because it's all Skeens, it's all the starter for LSU. I mean, it's just got a kid who's going to be a top 3 pick in the draft, throwing 101 miles per hour.
Our Boston people in the chat are getting a little upset with you for that comment about
It's okay.
The Patriots.
And
They're
I'm
like,
fine
"Don't
with it."
say that. They're not happy with you.
Cowboys are the template. It's okay. You had a run. We had double what the Cowboys
What
did.
a heel turn this is for you. This is great.
It's not a heel turn or it's a total. I said it. No,
Great.
people think that I just say it because like, oh, he's just deflecting about the Bruins or he's deflecting about the Patriots. I'm not deflecting at all.
No.
I've seen more winning. I am so good as a fan. I am so not like my Boston brethren. Patriot fans, Red Sox fans, they're all about this year winning now, have to win. My team must win. They're like a child wanting a candy bar. It's like, okay, I understand what you want, but we ate for 20 years at a table that no one will ever eat at again.
Oh, yeah.
Rarefied air, the privilege, the experience. I saw the worst of the worst and the best of the best, and I'm not gonna sully the memory of what that was
Sully.
because of what our desire to have to win it again. You must win it again.
Sully's going to pick you up at the airport tomorrow.
It's all right. It's all right. Yeah. It's all right. Go see my stepdad. You know, he's a Norris, so it's close enough. I mean, like he's a Mick. So
Bet this. Bet it.
yes,
I think LSU wins, but it's going to be a hell of a game. And listen,
Can't wait.
I mean, this is the what is this? The New Hampshire what?
Fisher Cats.
Blue and orange.
Yeah.
Maybe this is blue and orange night tonight. Maybe. I don't know. It's just a hell of a game. I like under. Under's the best play in the game.
GAUEX. Tigers. Go Tigers.
Oh, it's so annoying.
I like him. Over 9.5. Reds and the Orioles at minus 115.
Surprised. Oh, hit refresh. 10.
Oh, okay.
This is the number it should be.
Okay.
Maybe somebody knows something. I don't know.
Oh,
I saw
no.
the pitching matchup and I thought, okay, I like dog and over.
Irvin and Williamson. Irvin has a 6.43 ERA at home, 278 opposing batting average. He's given up 10 earned runs in 14 innings so far at home. On the road for Williamson, a 4.80 ERA, 268 opposing batting average. He's given up 8 earned runs in 15 innings of work here. Talking about one of the best teams to the over on the road. The Reds are 20-15 to the over on the road.
Over.
Yep.
Over. Bet it. Yes.
Okay.
Bet it. Dare
And
I
then-
say, it's 9.5. I can't say it's B squared play because we haven't done a B squared play for a while, but I really, really like it. But it's 10 now. So if you still obviously, I just hit refresh. There's not a 9.5 on planet Earth. If there
Okay.
is, bet it for sure.
Okay. So 9.5 there. And then finally, Braves team total over 4.5 at minus 115 today for Atlanta.
Against Sonny Gray?
Yep. Braves are
Whoa.
the number one team scoring at home in Major League Baseball, and they are the number one over team at home in Major League Baseball. I'm worried about, I think Gray will get touched up early, but he'll give up 2 or 3, and then I'll need the bullpen to give up the other 2. But the Braves have been scoring like crazy at home.
I'll book this one.
Okay.
It's a low scoring game. I like the game under. When I looked at the pitching matchup, I saw it. I said, all right, under 8.5. We're good. 4 is the number. 4. You like, I think this is a 4-3 game when I looked at it.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to get more than 4. That's going to be,
Atlanta is, it's kind of crazy. Atlanta is 40, 30, and 44, 30, and 3 to the over in all games
Hold
this
on,
year.
say the number slowly because they're mixed. There was 44,
44, 30, and 3 to the over. Number
30
one team.
wins, 30 losses, and 3 pushes.
Yep. 60%, basically 59.5% of the time they're going over. Number one in baseball. At home, Atlanta is 25-13-1 to the over.
To the first 5 over or the game over?
Game over.
Game over.
60.7% of the time
That's good.
going over.
That's good.
They're favored today, right?
Atlanta?
Yeah.
Strider? Minus
Yes.
220, minus 230.
I know. I'm just asking you. Atlanta as a home favorite is 23-13-1 to the over.
JJ just came in, one of our favorite valet guys in the city. He's
Nice,
the valet guy at the Golden Gate, Mr. James Jernigan. He said every red game goes over no matter what. JJ, you got to make a number. It doesn't just go over every number. He has the Braves minus a run and a half. JJ's been hot as fish grease. JJ's smoking right now.
As what? Fish grease?
Yeah, he's cooking fish grease, baby. He's
fish
smoking.
grease. Fish grease. I didn't know what that word was. Fish grease.
Yeah.
The Reds are the number one team in baseball on the run line. They are 50-28. Be very concerned about the Braves. No, sorry, I'm confusing teams. Sorry, the Braves are playing.
Minnesota.
Thank you. That's right, Minnesota.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't bet the over for the game, because I'm concerned about the Twins team total against Strider.
Right.
Matching it up. So that's why I didn't bet the over.
4-2's the final, I think.
So he likes the Braves on the run line. Who's like on the run line?
Yeah, JJ's on the Braves.
Braves on the run line.
Braves run line. He likes the Braves run line.
Atlanta Braves on the run line this year are 36-41.
That's wow. Losing record on the run line?
Yep, they were losing.
They've probably been a favorite every game. Almost every game they've been a favorite on the run line. It's probably a handful of games, 10 or less. Braves are really good.
Oh yeah,
Braves are. Do I say it now on June 25th? Are they June 26th? Are they the best team in the National League? I think so.
Yeah, I don't think that's horrible. On the road, as a home team on the run line, the Braves are not good. Wow. They are where's Atlanta? Atlanta is 15-24. 15-24. Yikes.
A lot of one-run games, I guess.
Yeah. That's
because they got a lot of wins.
They're winning a lot. They're just not. They're not. That's wow.
Okay.
How about that?
Yeah.
That is.
There we go.
That is surprising.
So be careful with that run line tonight.
Yeah, be careful.
Easy.
I'd be careful with that run line personally. I'm not in love with that with that play. All right. For you who are on Sports Grid, thank you for watching. We appreciate it. No show tomorrow, so a best ofs happening on Sports Grid Wednesday, Thursday, back for live shows. Those you'll get those on Wednesday night and Thursday night. I'll be on East Coast time, so it could be interesting. I may have a little late night session watching us on Sports Grid at midnight Eastern. That should be some fun to go ahead and watch that, depending on where I am and what I'm doing. But for you guys who are live on YouTube and Twitter, it is time for bonus time. Favorite thing about today is
the fact that you just said you were having a late night session and you'd be watching the show. I was
coming home, who knows? Come home and throw it on. And
I was going to let the chat have their way with that. When you having a late night session, you will not be watching the show. That's what they're talking about.
I don't know. I might be. Who knows? I don't know what I'm doing. I'm at the house. We'll see. I mean, it's. I'm in Andover for 3 nights, and then I'm in Maine for 4 nights, and then I'm in Andover for a night. I'm going out to the farm to go see my brother on the 4th of July.
Oh,
it's good to do a little farm trip and hang out with my brother.
You watch fireworks out there?
I think we're going to come back and watch the fireworks in my hometown. I think is where we're going to do a low key.
Okay.
A low key 4th of July is what it sounds like, because we'll be tired. The trip will be end of the trip. Maddie will have been gone for 17 days. We fly back on the 5th. So I think we're going to do a little bit of a low key. Normally I fly back on July 4th, which is the first time in a long time I'm not flying back on the 4th of July. But for some dumb reason, the flight was significantly cheaper flying to Vegas on the 5th than the 4th. Significant. Normally it's cheaper to fly on the holiday. Normally I fly Christmas, New Year's, because I land, it's always fun landing and watching the fireworks all over the valley popping up. And that's really a cool thing. And so that's how Madeline sees a lot of her 4th of July fireworks that way. But the price difference was so dramatic that I ended up doing it on the 5th.
So many favorite things about today. One, Kincaid made my day. I mean, just
you haven't watched that, go back and watch that.
Yeah, I mean, go back if you missed it. We got a big crowd in here now. Thank you guys for coming and watching the show live. Go watch the replay. Watch it on YouTube channel. The @ Boston versus the book. You can find it. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. But Kincaid started the show off. If you had any sort of, like you said, negative thought in your mind or anything like I'm having a tough day, Kincaid comes on. He's lost 20 pounds, he said. He's holding on to that hair and just has such a positive attitude about so many things. And that was great. And then we get to see Maddie and hear about the trip to Cincinnati and all that stuff. And then, I mean, I don't want to overhype it, but the proxy service thing is allowing us to make contacts with people in person to sign up for this contest and trusting us to, 1, meet them, 2, make the process as smooth and as easy as possible. 1 fee, 1 deadline is going to become a mantra. All you got to do is get your picks into us by noon Eastern every Saturday, and we'll get your picks in. Like that's going to be the fun of the contest. But like, I had a great meal with somebody who I hadn't seen in a long time yesterday, and is going to sign up for the contest. They're going to do multiple entries with Survivor and the Circa Millions. And he's here to play poker too. He said, if I'm here long enough, I'll probably do the Westgate too.
Wow.
Because that sign up start next week.
Yep.
So we're available. We're meeting people. We're having conversations that I didn't know a month ago we were going to be having. And we're going to have conversations after your trip to Boston that I know we didn't know we were going to be having, but things are happening. Favorite thing about today is all of the above. And again, the show.
I think one of the fun things about June and July, and for this is just goes, we always say thank you for you guys being here, but like if you're here in June, you're an OG, you're an original, you're a brigade member. I think it's really phenomenal because, well, 1, there's not much going on right now. Okay. So we really appreciate it. We understand it's easy to tune into shows in September and October when everything's firing and everything's fun. It's June. Like there's just not a lot of heat going on right now. So we appreciate you guys. Our average watch time is still 35 to 38 minutes a show on YouTube. That's just dumb, guys. I mean, it's just ridiculous. We are so thankful and appreciative of that. And so June is sort of like, you put the gas in the gas tank. July is when you start the engine. August, you start driving the damn thing. So we got a lot of things cooking and a lot of really cool things coming down the pike with you guys and plans. And we've had a lot of meetings. We'll see what ends up coming to fruition. But August 1st, we're going to take July. I'm going to go and get some R&R for a couple of days, and then we're going to come back and then have July be a big month. But August 1 starts arguably the most incredible 7 to 8 months run in the history of Las Vegas. And that's saying a lot for given what this city has had and what this city has been about. Yeah. We have so many things that are going to be starting. I mean, we don't talk about entertainment much, but like U2 is going to be here opening up the Sphere, which is, when you guys see it, if you come to Vegas, you're going to be like, what the hell is that thing? Because it's wild. They've just started to run the LED like test patterns. It looks like something an alien put down on the strip.
Not normal.
It does not look reason. It's like, what the hell is that going to look like when it's fully lit up? So we've got U2 people flying in from all over the world to go to all the U2 concerts. We have the F1 race happening we keep on talking about. The Super Bowl is here. Like, we're not just talking about it. Like, this is a reality now. This is the countdown to kick off and a countdown to what's going to happen. So we're going to do a lot of fun things. You guys being here, though, in the summertime fires us up and keeps us so motivated and excited to keep coming back to doing the show. And so my favorite thing about this is, yes, it's the brigade. Chef Benning, I did say that going home. Yes, because I would say that in Boston. I'll say it to media members in Boston. I'm not trying to ruffle feathers by any means. Someone said I'm trying to ruffle people's feathers. No, I'm not. Just how I am. I'm good. This is the point I was making with the Bruins. I'm good. Like, I'm 46. I'm a lot older than you, Benny. I lived through the hell. I lived through the nastiness. I watched the nastiness. Okay. I did the Andy Dufresne. I crawled through a river of shit and I came out the other side clean. Like, that's what we've done as New England sports fans. There's nothing to be mad about. There's nothing to bitch about. That's why I laugh when I go back and listen to Sports Talk Radio. I'm like, you're all pissed off. You're all still mad. Like, I'm okay. Like, the Bruins season, I'm okay. They lost. Oh no, I had fun. I had fun betting on them. I had fun watching them. It was a good time. So it is what it is.
It's one, it's just getting older. Like, as you get older, you realize, like, one, how special the good times are, but two, the bad losses and stuff are just another day. Like, you absorb them.
Gambling has done more to getting older.
What?
I think gambling has done more for that than getting older.
Gambling has done a lot of that too. It wears you out. There's no question.
No, not wear me out. Gambling has shown me that there's always a game tomorrow.
Always.
There's always a game tomorrow. It's like it's never over. It's never really over. Like, my team loses. Okay. Well, who's my team tomorrow? The team I put my money on. Like, it's just like, that's just how it is. It just changes the emotional attachment to the laundry. My identity is no longer tied to a jersey. It's different.
This is a good thing. This is what people tell me that all the time. I'm like, Dave, do you have all the hats and all the jerseys? I don't have them all, but that's why I wear them. I'm a fan of the sport. I'm a fan. Like, Pittsburgh still gets me excited and stuff, but like, you become kind of numb to it when you're in the gambling world. And being in Vegas, we never really had a team. The Knights parade was great. We did all that. It's done. We're on to the next thing.
Yeah.
The other two favorite things about today I wanted to mention. One, I tweeted it today. I was in the Washington Post, an article about gambling and the shams thing and all this other stuff. And I was so humbled by my mom because she was like, "Oh, that's great. I'm just happy they spelled your name correctly." I was like, "Mom, I got quoted in a Washington Post. Hey, Mom, look at this for a gambling story. I never would have thought this." And she said, "That's great. I'm glad they spelled your name correctly." So you want to talk about being humbled and being like knocked out. That's one thing. And then the other one was from Mikey Awesome. I saw it, and he took all of our frozen faces.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I
put
totally forgot
them
this.
To the Frozen song. It was, I mean, Emerson, I don't even know what to say.
My mother saw it and she liked it. And Mikey wrote to me and said, "Please tell your mother how much that meant to me, that your mom liked what I did."
Wait,
I put that up.
Mama P's in the Discord?
No, it was on Twitter and Instagram.
Oh.
My mom's on both. She's on Twitter and Instagram. She's not on Twitter very much. She's on Instagram every day. Instagram's her go-to. But she saw it on Twitter and she liked it. And so he sent me a DM and said, "Just let your mom know that made my day when I saw your mom like that video." I said, "Dude, that video was I couldn't stop laughing. Like, it was so good. Like, it was so amazingly funny. If you haven't seen that, you got to go to our Twitter accounts and check it out because it's absolutely frozen because our faces are frozen. That's why he chose that. In case you're like, why frozen? That's why he chose that, because our faces are frozen. So I'll leave you with this headline. This is what I'm walking into, Dave. 4th of July travel expected to break records. Over 4 million Americans were expected to fly over the 4th of July holiday weekend. Over 4 million people. I'm walking into travel hell. I think I'm going to get around it, except for the Boston July 5th issue. I think I'm going to be okay. But man, if you're traveling on the 4th, that's why my flight was so expensive on the 4th, because so many people are traveling Friday to Tuesday for next week. So we're off for that reason. You guys are all traveling everywhere. That's why we're not doing the shows, because we know family time, relationships, whatever, commitments come first. But we are back on Wednesday. No show tomorrow. Back on Wednesday for this show, except I'll be in my basement. This could be a funny show on Wednesday. You're going to want to tune in for that. He's Dave. I'm Matt. We'll talk to you Wednesday. Me from Boston for BBB.